What's up, guys? It's Dread. Something's different. What is it? I did it! I fixed my heater in my garage. And I trimmed the beard. But that's what I'm excited about, because as you know, one of my previous videos talked about how cold it is in the garage and how much it sucks laying on the garage when working on cars. Now it's gonna warm up in here. It's a little noisy, so you're gonna kind of hear that in the background. I'm just excited that I've got a heater again. Oh my gosh, what a difference. It makes working on my cars way more fun. Today, we're working on the Focus. My last video, I did the downpipe, I did the catback exhaust. It sounds amazing, I love it. Today, we're gonna finish my final bolt-on. It's a part that's been back ordered for me since, I don't know, October. But my Whoosh intercooler has finally arrived, and I'm excited. I've also got some new spark plugs I'm gonna put in. I did the NGK one step colder. They're the, I don't know, that number right there. I got a feeler gauge to make sure I gap those correctly. And I do have another little thing I'm not gonna do in this video, but it'll be another one coming up. I've got an oil catch can that we'll be installing as well. So that'll be my next video after this one. Maybe, I don't know when I'll do that one. Watch for that, but today, we're gonna get ready to do this intercooler, because that is all I really need. The stock intercooler is garbage on these. Super excited to put this Whoosh one on there. It's a lot thicker, a lot bigger. I'll do a side-by-side comparison, let you see with how they look next to each other, and you'll see why you want to upgrade your intercooler. All right, so there's the intercooler has arrived. We're gonna open this thing up, see what kind of goodies we got. As you guys have seen before too, Whoosh likes to send goodies, and we get air fresheners, you get other things, stickers, lots of stickers. I keep hoping for a license plate bracket. Maybe we'll get lucky and get one this time. Let's find out. This thing does come packaged extremely well. This thing's solid, it's heavy. Opening the box, first thing you notice is tons and tons of foam to protect it. And I did order the stencil. So that way you can label it with the Whoosh logo on that intercooler if you want, which I plan on doing. I want to rep them a little bit. I'm using tons of Whoosh products. Mentioned plenty of stickers. Here's another sticker they send. There's a screw in there I don't want to lose either. It looks like it's probably for a sensor or something. Oh man. Oh man. Oh my gosh, it's so big. Oh gosh, guys, this thing's massive. This thing is so big. I can tell it's way bigger than the stock one. Holy smoke, it's going to be exciting. Look how thick this thing is. This is going to look amazing on my car. Oh my gosh. Super excited about this. This thing is massive. Oh gosh, yeah. All the brackets and everything. This thing is solid. This thing is going to be awesome. It's gonna look so cool. All right, so in order to do this intercooler, to make it easier, I am jacking the front of the car up into the air. It's gonna crawl underneath. There's some body clips and some bolts I'm gonna have to loosen under there. And as always, for anyone that has watched any of my videos, safety, super duper important. Use jack stands, use wheel chocks. Don't risk it. You want to be safe doing this. There's links to all that stuff down in the description if you guys need it for your own garage. Be sure to click on it, buy it, or go buy some at an auto parts store or just somewhere. Just make sure you have that stuff. So we're going to start today at the top. We're going to have to take off the entire front cover of the car and the headlights, it looks like, to get to this intercooler. So I'm going to start by dismantling that stuff, but also, as I'm doing this, I'm going to perform another mod. And this one's truly just a visual mod. We're going to be putting on a big mouth air intake that goes behind the grill over here. And like I said, it's going to be mainly a visual mod. You're going to see this big red opening behind the grill, which I think makes it look kind of cool. So we're going to do that while we're in there today. All right, so a couple things we got to do here. We're going to have to disconnect the hood release here as it's sitting on this cover. It's going to come off. There's just I don't know, a little cable in here that we're going to pull forward, pop that out and slide it over, and then we'll disconnect it here and kind of disconnect it off here as well. Then we got to pop out these body trim panel things using one of those trim tools. And then once we get that out, there's a couple screws on here that hold it on, and this cover should pop right off if I take it off the front here. You could probably leave it all assembled and pull it off as one piece just for ease of access. I'm going to probably just remove everything. And then once we get below here, we'll be able to access the screws that actually hold the bumper on. But we're going to have to take out the headlights as well. There's going to be a screw here, a screw here. Maybe that's all, or maybe there's another one back here somewhere. We'll find out when we get in there. But we'll have to take the headlights out, this front cover off to access everything behind it there. All right, and the screws that hold the headlights on, they're like a Torx bit. It looks like it's a T30, and then I've got one of these tool kits that comes with all the different sizes, plus an adapter to attach to a ratchet. So we're going to be using that to loosen those right there really quick and take those off. And then, like I said, I've got my trim tools we'll be using today, and then some screwdrivers, and I don't know if that's all we need or if we'll need more along the way, but we'll find out. All right, I do have aftermarket lenses on my car, so it was just the front bolt and the back bolt that held it on. I'm not sure on the OE if there's another bolt somewhere, so not gonna be much help there for you. But then the plug, this was plugged in. You just gotta put a little screwdriver down here and pry up just a little clip on it. That separates pretty easy, and then I've got those set aside now. Now we're onto the front bumper. I know we're gonna take off the splash guard on the bottom. We're gonna take off the cover for the bottom side of the engine. And there's going to be some screws or some body panels that hold this on, so we're going to go down below the car and take those out really quick. And then down here, like I said, underneath, we're going to pull this panel off there. There's like 3 Torx bits in the back, 3 on the front, and then 1 on each side. There were 227s maybe, if I remember right. But once we get that off, we're going to have to pull this front cover off, just like when we did the fog light bulbs. And then there's a couple screws that hold that on. There's some screws kind of along the back piece here. And then I think we could probably pull this off with the front bumper cover, but I'm going to probably remove it just in case, 'cause I'm not sure. And that'll give me a chance also to replace some of these body clips I didn't replace on one of my last videos, because the factory ones are really thin and weak, and I just want to replace those anyway. All right, so now I've got that bottom cover and then this front plastic cover underneath. This is where you can see that factory intercooler, which is, I don't know, not even 2 inches wide compared to the one I'm putting in, which is like 4 1/4. In order to do that, we're going to pull out some stuff when we get up in there, but yeah, we're getting closer now. We just got to finish pulling this bumper off, and we're going to have to unbolt it back along the fender wells to loosen it on the bottom here, and then we'll go back to the top and start unbolting the top. You know, I'm going to say it now, with as easy as it was to get out these headlights on this, if I ever had to do the fog lights on here again, I would just take those out, and you can get them literally, they're right there. It's right there. It'd be easy for me to get my hand down in there and do that, as opposed to going underneath and pulling everything apart. But I guess you learn something when you start pulling things apart. So yeah, so next time fog light bulbs, I'm just going through the top. All right, so now we're back on the top. We took the bottom part, everything's off. A couple things we gotta do here. We got these body clips here, and this is where these body panel clip tools come in handy. You just pry it under the head, you pry the head up, and then you can pry the rest of the clip out itself, just like that. And there's 2 of those. Drop to the ground. So then, and that's just those. I always keep an extra box of these around. I buy like in bulk. These are a super common size for my Corvette, for my truck, for this, all my vehicles. So I've got a bunch of different body clips I keep around, because these will break when you take them off. And then just to show you some of the next things we're going to do up here, on each side there's going to be another one of these T30 Torx heads. There's going to be maybe a T27 or a T30 there. And then I think it looks like I'm going to have to remove these here as well, because those might be attached to something there. And then that should be enough to get this part loosened, and then we'll go on to the next area. And then we have to loosen the hood release thing here. The easiest way to do it was to push forward on here and then pull the little retainer out of the slot there. And then I slid this forward You see, you can slide it right there. And then I was able just to pop it right out of the groove right there, so that loosened that up for me. Then you just pop it off here, slide it out there, and now that's disconnected. All right, and then the next thing we gotta do is come back over to your wheel well here. There's a T30 that goes there. I've already removed mine. And then another T30 right up here. You take both of those out, and then I do see a body clip right here, so time to get out my handy dandy body clip tool and remove that. And then I see there's another T30 maybe right here tucked up I didn't notice, so we'll probably get that one out too. All right, so then once the bolts and the clips are all out, we're ready to separate this. This thing just kind of sits, it's hard to tell, but it sits under this fender piece. So you just gotta kind of grab it, and it just kind of pops out, and it just seems like you're gonna break something, but you're not. It's just gonna pop out like that right there. So now that's loose. You do that on the other side as well, and we'll go to the next step. All right, so now that the bumper's loosened, I think the last thing probably holding this on, I think I've got a harness down there I'll have to pull off still, but there's a clip like this on each side. It's got this rubber piece. I think if you just pry this up, it'll let it slide under there. I can't do it with one hand probably. I'm just gonna pry that up a little bit, get that slid out underneath it, and it should allow all this to slide right off. All right, and as I've got a harness, I know I've got to unplug there. I could probably do it from the bottom of the car, but I'm gonna see if I can pull this out and just get it that way really quick. All right, and there is the bumper. Now I just gotta set this thing off to the side. And now, as you can see, we have access to all of this stuff. Some things that I've got to remove. There's these active vents in here I'm going to pull out. And then this is where we're going to be connecting that big mouth intake. It's going to come here and go down under where all this stuff is. So that's what we're going to do now. So now that we got this all pulled apart, I definitely have to remove this air duct. There's some torque screws in here. A couple of them, I'll pull those out, and that should let it pop off. And like I said, there's an active vent system. That's going to come out too, otherwise this won't even fit. And once those torque screws are out, here's that thing which is getting tossed aside. Then here's that active vent system. One thing I think I am going to do on this is there's a motor that plugs in, and in order to keep it from throwing a code, I'm going to probably leave the motor in here zip tied out of the way somewhere, so the car thinks it's still kicking on and off, so I don't get any weird codes. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this off too. There's just a couple clips on each side that kind of hold into place there. You just kind of snap those down and it pops right out. So we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll get onto the air diverter behind it there. You know, I watched some videos where the guys will go through and cut all this stuff out, things like that. Literally, this system is it's just sitting in there on a couple clips. All you have to do is like lift it up and out, and it'll come right out of here once I get it up over those clips. It's not very difficult. No sense destroying this to never be able to use it again, but it just literally lifts out and off. All right, then right back in there was the plug for the air sensor. I've already disconnected the wire off there, and then there's a little hose clamp there next to it off to the side. Right here, looks like it's a 7mm. Because of where it is, I'm gonna have to use this wrench to unscrew that hose off of there. And then here's that cable for the shutter motor. It just wrapped around through here. I popped it out. That was the little retainer clip, and then wrapped around and connected here. And there's another clip where that connected right there. So now I've got, you can see the charge hose on both sides disconnected. There's a little nut, a little bolt. It's like, I don't know, maybe 8mm, 10mm. It looks like 8mm maybe. Right there, we gotta take those out on both sides. And like stuff like this is where a set of these ratcheting wrenches really comes in handy, because can't quite get a socket up in there. So these things are nice. All right, so I stenciled on the Whoosh logo onto my intercooler there. I'm getting ready to put that back up in there and screw the intercooler hoses and stuff into the charge hoses back into place. I'm getting ready to do this big mouth air intake right now. That would be pretty simple, it takes just a couple minutes. And to remove, you gotta remove this, I don't know, stock one here. It's just a couple of, again, these body clips here. Kind of to hold that on, knock that out. This one down here is gonna be a little bit more difficult to get to. It's kind of around the side here. I end up breaking that one out because the new the new big mouth intake thing comes with some bolts we're gonna use. So I'm gonna probably just break that off instead of trying to get it off, so I'm not gonna use it for anything else. And then this large mouth intake, like I said, it's just gonna go on here, and it comes with this bolt kit that we're gonna use to put the bolts here and there where those body clips were previously. And that's gonna hold it in place, and that's gonna sit there and give us a really cool look through the front grille. And there's that big mouth intake right there. All right, so there's the Whoosh intercooler installed. I've got the big mouth intake installed. Now I'm just gonna put everything back together, the reverse order, kind of how I took it apart, with a couple exceptions. It's not gonna put some of those, I don't know, little rubber seal things and the shutter things not going back on, but it's about ready to go back together just like this. So I'm gonna put it back together and check it out. All right, for real though, I did replace that. Honestly, I have a multimeter. I just found the wires in the old one, held it on there, saw voltage, had my wife downstairs flip the breaker, made sure the voltage was off. Honestly, it wasn't that hard to do. I'm definitely not a fan of working on electricity though, but that was pretty straightforward and pretty simple. I would definitely do that again, and it's nice having heat in the garage so I can do things like work on my vehicles and not freeze. So, not bad. Honestly, that's a super nice garage heater, 5,000 watt heater. Keeps my 2-car garage nice and toasty, so it's awesome.